A little bit of a change of pace today. We keep getting all this rain, so the other site that I was working at, it's still going and that, but slowly, it's mud everywhere. And this site is nice and dry. I wish I could work here all the time. I'm running a 350 John Deere. I've got one of those gay progressive link thumbs, and it's only a 2-tine thumb, so it's not as easy to pick up stuff. I got a couple 35-ton rock trucks here, and I've got this girl that's running this one. She's new at it, so I kind of gotta compensate sometimes for her lack of ability, I guess, or I don't want to be mean about it. She just can't help it. She's just learning. It makes it a bit of a pain. So I'm just loading out some brush here. It's mostly like poplar trees and the odd spruce. I can get these all into the box somehow. Even if they stick out the sides. It's not like I have to worry about going through downtown here. They're just hauling him to a pile, and from the sounds of it, at some point they're just going to dig a great big hole and bury him all. They're not going to burn him because we're too close to town, and people start going, oh, they're burning stuff in my allergies, And for whatever reason, they cheaped out on mulching them. Having a machine with a big mulcher on it and grinding them up into sawdust. So we're doing it this way. Which is fine. Nice change. Loading rock trucks gets pretty boring. Yeah, it's nice to run a big excavator and move a lot of dirt, but big fucking deal. Just gets to be repetition, so having a nice little job like this, picking up sticks, throwing them in the pile, throwing them in the truck, whatever. But yeah, it's a John Deere 350D, as in Delta. Not all that well taken care of, I don't think. Got a bit of slop in the joints. Tracks are a little looser than what I would like. I think they're looser than what John Deere recommends, or Hitachi for that fact. It pretty much is a Hitachi, just with, I don't know if it's got a Deere motor in it, I didn't look. Like that 650 I was running, that's pretty much all Hitachi. It's just got the Deere paint and decals and came from the Deere dealership. The engine's a Isuzu. That's what Hitachi normally uses. And I prefer the Isuzu. They're better on fuel, usually. And a little bit quieter too, but I haven't been on a whole lot of the newer John Deere, so maybe they've improved. Try and get a good grapple load of these. Sometimes I can load the truck in just about 2 passes. I don't really like thumbs all that much. I would much rather prefer something like a power clam, basically a grapple with 360-degree swing. It's got like bucket teeth on it, so you can still even dig with it if you had to. At least if you got that 360-degree rotate capability, then you can position stuff easier. Like I'd be able to get right square with this truck all the time without having to move my machine around all the time. But the thumb does help, I guess. But the other thing I don't like about thumbs is because back home I use wrist twist quite a bit, and with a wrist twist, then you've kind of got to turn the thumb off. Usually you've got a couple of ball valves, and you turn them so that all the oil goes to the wrist twist function. With that being said, then a lot of times the ball valves they don't really stay sealed very well, and then your thumb is always drifting down, and you can't really lock the thumb out. It's not like there's a pin or something that you can stick in there and have the thumb locked out. Not to mention it creates a huge amount of weight, and a wrist twist or a tilt bucket is kind of heavy a little bit, so when you go to reach out and you got a bucket of dirt or something in there, you can almost do a little bit of an endo there. And that's why I would prefer a thumb. If I could only afford a thumb, or that's my only option, I would rather have the thumb mounted in such a way that the cylinders are on the bucket, and so when you take the bucket off, then the thumb goes with the bucket. So you only need it right then and there. And there is one that's like that, that's made by a company in the US, and they call it the Krypto Claw. You know, like the planet Krypton on Superman. But anyway, I think that's a great idea. Or one that's made like a 4-in-1 bucket, like on sometimes they put them on tractor backhoes, like in the UK, or sometimes you might see one on a wheel loader or a skid steer, bobcat, whatever. I think those are awesome. If I could have a bucket that was like that, that would be fantastic. But what do I know? I'm just a minion. But someday I'll have my own machine, and I can look at those things properly and find out what they cost. There's certainly a lot of toys out there. So I got a couple little piles of this wood too. This is a residential subdivision that they're building here. There's a couple of 637s, I believe they are, twin engine scrapers, push-pulling each other. There's a packer over there in the 16G grader. Can't really show you because I'm waiting for this truck to come back. There's a 750 John Deere excavator. That's an older model. That was before they had like the 650 and the 850. And now they've turned it to like 670 and 870. And I hate how they keep changing the numbers on them. Just leave them the way they were. That's all I have to say about that. It wants to rain, but it can't quite push it out. It's like it's got a poo, but it can't quite poo. There's a D65 Komatsu, brand new one running around here too. Looks like a nice machine, but it is a Komatsu. So, yeah. It's nice I can get some videos up again. Kind of miss doing it. It's just hard being away from home. I'm about 1600 kilometers away from the town that I live in, and from my wife and my 3 crazy cats, and yeah, well, actually I'm the crazy one, and my 2 turtles. So it's not easy. Especially when the weather here is absolutely shitty, and the weather back home is beautiful. My wife said it's actually pretty hot there, and around 30 degrees Celsius and humid, and they're getting like nice thunderstorms. You know, I love watching a light show. winter, it's windy, it's been cold. Hardly ever gets up to 20 degrees. And it rains all the fucking time. Get some of these kind of more looser piles of sticks. I'll deal with the big logs afterwards, put them in the other truck. I used to do a lot of work like this years ago, brushing places, and, you know, knocking down trees, clearing land, etc., etc. It's been a while since the last time I did this. The last time I did it, I had to use a ditching bucket with a Arista twist on it. Fuck, was that ever a gong show. I didn't have all these big logs, but I had lots of sticks and stumps and stuff, and I'm trying to scoop them up without taking out the Arista twist hoses, and man, went through 3 or 4 hoses doing that. I had to load them into a gravel truck so I could haul them to the garbage dump. And I had to drive the dump truck to the dump after. I had to do it all myself. It took me forever. It took me like 3 days to get rid of almost the same amount of material. And you can only haul to the dump till, I don't know, 4:30, 5 o'clock or something like that. So you gotta have pretty good timing. Yeah, I'm not gonna deal with that yet. Get that stuff on there. It's gonna fucking fall off halfway through, so I'll just push this over this way as much as I can. Leaving a few sticks behind is okay, but you know, you want to do a nice job. Foreman here is really, really nice. I don't get to see that very often about foreman. I can see the other guy, he's pretty good too, but it's a big, busy job, and the ground is really bad there, and so he's all stressed out and everything, and he kind of tries to take on too much at once. I think the company's putting a lot of stress on him to get it done, but with this weather, it ain't going to get done. Not very easily, that's for damn sure. This is going to be a bit difficult here. And this dirt is nice and dry, so I can't twist my tracks the way I want them. Come on, Don. Step on the gas. I don't mind if they kind of hang off to the side a little bit, just as long as they stay in. I don't want them to hit the cab. Like, the cab's got a screen and guarding and that, but, you know, it's just, you can still get a stick that goes between the mesh. I do like the old way of brushing stuff where you used to just pile it up, let it dry out, season it. In Canada here, because, you know, risk of forest fires and that, they often would just wait till about November, December, when you got a bit of snow on the ground, and then you light it up. Get the tiger torch out and get it nice and hot. Now we all got to be environmentally friendly, and that's just gay. Stupid. Though there are some operations, I think I came across one a few years ago, and we had a big grinder, and they would just feed all these sticks and trees and stuff into the grinder, and turn it into wood chips, and I think that's a good idea. It's just probably far more expensive. And just go like this. I hope you guys can see this all right. Last video worked out not too bad. I appreciate the comments on that. It's nice to see some positive feedback. I kind of limited on my editing ability. In fact, I can't do any editing because at the moment I'm using one of these new Google laptops. They're made by Acer, and it doesn't want to seem to work with my GoPro camera here. So I've been uploading it using my friend's Apple computer, but I don't think he has any kind of editing, and he says his computer's kind of old, so we'll just stick with it the way it is, and people don't mind, and I don't really exactly have a lot of time for editing. And the editing program that I do have back home on the computer isn't the easiest to use, so I can't remember what it's called. It's a Windows thing. I don't know. Not a very good wiper. So, I hope you guys enjoy the video. I'm sure it's dark. It's 8:45 in the morning. It's this dark. And it's June. I expect it to be this dark maybe in December, November, or something like that if it hasn't snowed, but this is retarded. Fuck off, rain. See, I used to work here in Alberta in the early 2000s, 2001, 2002, 03, and it was dry as a popcorn fart here. They were having forest fires and all that kind of stuff all over the place. And, man, if it wasn't dry, you're lucky, but, it never rained. It was wonderful. You could get so much work done. Now it's just like what Manitoba was a couple of years ago. Flooding, non-stop rain, the mosquitoes are as big as helicopters, you know, they carry away small children. What happened, Alberta? I pick up a little bit of grass and dirt with it, but that's okay. If I can make it nice and clean, and everybody's happy, then I'm happy, and blah, blah, blah. I like these serrated edges on these ditching buckets. It's almost as good as having bucket teeth. Just kind of try and rake it together and let this thing is bouncy. I think I was running a wheel excavator. Get so used to the immense weight of the 650. Just rake everything together. Rake it onto a heap. strip that off with the buggies or something. Got a couple more brush piles here to take care of. I got 4 in total. That's 2 that's gone, so maybe a 5th. Yeah, now she's coming down steady. God damn it. I love how hilly this country is here. As you've seen where in some of my previous videos where I'm from, it's flat as a pancake because it used to be the bottom of a lake. It's actually like a floodplain now. And so coming here, these hills are just wonderful. It's like working in a three-dimensional place. Everybody says Saskatchewan's flat, and I'm like, you're on drugs. Manitoba is 10 times flatter than Saskatchewan will ever be. And it's mostly just that area around Winnipeg, but it's a big friggin' area. So, anyways, I'm going to end this. I'm not sure how much room I've got left on the card. Talk to you guys later. Bye.